This is basically my video on my first thoughts about basically why I think people should watch videos on YouTube or just videos in general. So, why I think people should watch videos. Just in general. Basically, why I think people should watch videos is because it helps someone get perspectives of the different perspectives that opens their mind to create new things, or basically make more things that are more creative. Basically, their mind could already have the same structured thing and stuff like that, but seeing it as a different perspective shows them that basically they can get what they need to basically fill in the things that basically prove their point or what they're saying. And when basically they fill up their point to prove what they're saying, basically that they can help them be more aware of it, and it has an interconnectionness of basically more than one source, but multiple sources that has more reliable feedback for what they're saying, which is good. Also, it can also basically broaden the horizon of basically saying it broadens the horizon of what it means to know more of basically how much someone can know. It basically expands your limits of how much you can know, because the internet's so easily able to access many things in the world and gain many things. And basically, if basically you get many perspectives and many more things, you can basically see it as from what you see it as yourself, but you can also see it as basically what you saw it from them, and then mix them together to make your own thing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, that was pretty basic. But like, it's also basically people shouldn't basically make the same thing where basically they're making the same thing over and over of the exact same content. They shouldn't be basically just copying and pasting or just rewriting the same lines, in that basically they're just making the same thing of what they were trying to make a point of. They should basically make a point that is basically original, creative, where basically they can create a game of basically of what it means to be able to be a creator, you know? Or basically what it means to create something that creates a good thing, that creates what it means to create what it means, like what it means to create and get more things of what it means to be wise, so that basically they can gain wisdom for themselves. I personally think it's better to basically, for me, I should basically have my own clear thoughts and look at my own vision of basically what I can gain from myself, of basically what it means to basically have my own thoughts, in that basically it is my mind that is able to go anywhere, and it's already anywhere in my mind that basically it can go anywhere, and because I created it, it means that basically I have created it for myself, and it was something that wasn't from something else. But basically it's like the interconnections of basically it came from another source that is connected to many things that makes more of something else. That is something that basically creativity is part of many things. That basically is all part of one whole thing, which is good. But basically, I am trying to think, should I be more of the creative side and go into the potential of being more creative? Or should I be more of the side of being more basically logical and filling myself with logic and wisdom, so that basically I can create logical? And basically it takes a balance of both if you want to do that, like these YouTube videos, where basically you gotta go and make a balance of logical and basically your own creative thinking, and also basically foundation of what it makes a foundation of basically learning everything. And it's kind of confusing because like words, what? Alright, yeah.
Lower your volume because we're still sleeping. Please. Loud. Please. Be consider others, please. Okay. Be consider others.
Alright. Words are kind of like us.
Please lower your voice.
Alright. My voice is not that loud.
Inner voice.
So words are like words are like basically us knowing we're conscious, and we are kind of scared of being unconscious, but unconscious mind is saying basically we are doing something that basically we gotta be aware of. So in our subconscious and consciousness, we created stuff that basically what it creates is that basically it's the understanding of reality itself just through symbols that make up the world in itself. And basically it doesn't make sense what it is. What it is basically just the way we can see the world in reality. But what it is made of is just basically symbols that just we understand through logic of basically saying basically 1 line equals 1 and 2 lines equals 2. It's just a symbol that we understand through pattern recognition of basically reading patterns, which doesn't make sense, but it just makes sense that we understand language, and that basically how it makes sense is what it means because of what it means. And well, if basically everything was like we could understand what it means to basically mean what it mees that basically we gotta play what it actually has to be. What is the true so you gotta play what is the true like underlying force of your own balance of like you gotta have a balance of what it means to basically be creative and also logical. I feel like I already said that. I might have paused my video. I'm getting a little nervous. But basically, it's like saying you can understand a perspective of basically your own perspective in your mind. While basically you can look at someone's perspective as basically a perspective coming from you seeing their perspective, or you can see the perspective of them coming in your eyes of their perspective, which sounds the same. But you can see the perspective of you and the perspective of you being you. And then you can then see them. Or you can be the perspective of them and then you see them, seeing them by seeing them. That sounds like the same. Okay, so you can see from seeing them as them from you seeing them, or you can see it from the standpoint of you. That was kind of hard to explain. But, like, if you were to play this, it's, for me, I kind of play a standpoint of seeing myself, and that basically I gotta take care of myself. And basically, it may not be the greatest thing for my life, social life, but it's good for basically my self-worth and basically the value of what it means for me. And how people see people can basically show that how people see people is who they become, either through basically expression or basically just through thought. That people react to how you view them because subconsciously or unconsciously they can see that, and basically that is the unconsciousness replying to basically who they identify as and who they are to the collective. Which is really good to basically say you should always try to do better and be your best, or just be something that is perfectly you so you can be you for you. But basically, if you were to see people as other people, then you can see that basically people come together as a whole. And basically, as a whole, that means we are trying to find a direct order of a purpose of a goal. And I try to do that with myself, but where we go is all dependent on basically who are we as truly people. And honestly, I would say maybe not everyone would want to be who they truly are, but if people created what they truly are as who they are, and basically the collective could see what they mean and basically come together, then that means that there's a direction and order that's like falling asleep into a dream, that basically you just don't remember anything, but it still makes sense because you're playing a game. And basically maybe they'll win and make something of it, and basically it'll be a great stuff that basically they had a hurrah and fun, or maybe they'll lose, and then basically it'll just all mean nothing. And basically, basically what I'm saying is maybe if people could just see as how basically people are supposed to be seen, and that they can be seen as they are seen, then maybe there's a goal that basically people great to see the seeing of what it means to see, of what it means to be seen, of just maybe it just means that people are human beings. But yeah, if there was a direct order in just a world of like computers and stuff like that, that would be cool too. And that like computers would be cool, and that basically they were all like fixed together where basically everyone could be like a cool collective, and then basically would have a finite order, and that basically everyone would make a direction and stuff, and they would be able to connect in far out reaches and basically have a society that basically was perfectly arranged and make sense of, or basically they could talk and basically they could go and basically there wouldn't be like traffic accidents, or people wouldn't text and drive because people would learn that. And maybe it's not so much brainwashing that basically people learn how to not text and drive, but maybe people would like understand how like why someone thinks this perspective about like why roads are made while someone else thinks this. And there'll just be certain groups, just like social groups at school, and then basically you just get to know all of them and basically see bits and pieces. But basically you can always go back and find more if you always find more, and you can just always keep update with whatever you want and just go whatever, and just meet people and just be all part of the group and have your own group, and also become as a whole, as together, as a collective, but also have a standpoint of where you're going in direction order. It would just be nice and stuff like that. But yeah, that's in general, and that's why people should watch videos, because that's what it means to like watch videos, is like you just get new ideas and stuff, and perspective is always good, because if you could basically mean something like that, and people mean like something like that, that's great. So yeah, why people should watch videos in the first place. But also maybe they're just also like trying to make themselves up for something because nothing matters, and because there's nothing that matters is that basically they're trying to reach out for something that basically can give them a sense of they existed, and what they existed for was to show themselves, so people may open their minds to something that they have never known, to see what it means, to show what it means to be them. And maybe you'll open their mind and see what it means. But it also is kind of like more of like a social thing, where basically it's just for basically just the entertainment of the world. So yeah, because it helps with the world and does with everything, because it can give hope to the world. So yeah, if those were all together, I guess it's just because we have nothing better to do, and yeah. So yeah, I feel like there could be a deeper answer, like it's like the whole answer and stuff, but like the whole answer to what we can be doing. But yeah, we have nothing better to do. So yeah, thanks. That's my own personal opinion, so I can't fill that with my own answer. Yeah, I have nothing better to do, so I'm one of those people. So yeah, thanks. I'm gonna go, and that was more of like a social review. Maybe it has to do with more work and business and reaching out to people and stuff like that, for reaching out to people. But that's why people make videos, and why people should watch videos, and why I should watch my personal videos is about the same thing. But if it gets boring, it's whatever. So yeah, and if people know me and stuff, like I'm glad people know me, and I'm glad that basically people know me and stuff. But honestly, I just want to know people as people, because I think people are unique in every way, but I gotta figure out myself first. And if you ever lose something that's a part of yourself, then that sucks, because basically you can't be the perfect self that you always felt like was you, and that'll just be miserable, because then you wouldn't have what it means to be you. And if you didn't have what it means to be you, then basically you would feel like you were detached from you, and then basically you would be like, what is even the real you, and doesn't even mean to be you. But not like that, but like, what it means to be you was actually a perspective of you that was basically something that you couldn't actually believe. And what you could believe is that what it meant to be you is almost like it's unreachable now, but it can be reached again because you have more things like that. But what if you lost it again? So yeah, that's great. Anyways, thanks. That's why you should watch videos, and why people make videos in the first place, or like maybe it's socializing or entertainment, and just maybe it's just for fun. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, thanks. Maybe I'm just saying basic things and just explaining it in the way that makes sense, but it's whatever.